So we know that, so internally there will be a RAM and ROM. Okay. So ROM is for storing the program and RAM is for storing the data. In some applications, this is not sufficient. This is not sufficient. So we have to go for interfacing the external RAM and ROM. Right, RAM and ROM. So okay. So what is the external, the capacity of memory can be interfaced with 8051 in the sense 8051 is having 16 address lines or address bits, so that 2 to the power of 16, which is equal to 64K. So this is the size of memory which you can interface with 8051. Okay, which you can interface with 8051. Okay, so this can be one of entry questions also, right? So depending on address lines, number of address lines, so you can decide what is the maximum capacity of memory can be interfaced with 8051. Okay, see, that's why here I have mentioned, see, the common points. So 8051 has internal data and program memory or code memory, nothing but, which is having limited memory capacity. So that's why we go for interfacing external RAM and ROM, right? Okay, so this is a simple diagram, right? So let us see one by one how the data memory is interfaced with 8051 and how the external memory is interfaced with 8051, right? So this class I will end up with only this portion. Okay, next class we will see about the external data memory interface. So here the external program memory. So program memory is nothing but RAM or ROM, RAM or ROM. Anybody can explain? Program memory is RAM or ROM?
ROM.
ROM, yes, ROM. Okay, where your application program is loaded. Where your application program is loaded. Okay, when internal ROM is not sufficient, we have to go for external ROM. Okay, keep in mind. Okay, so here from the diagram you must understand what are all these points. These are all very important points. Okay, nothing. See, if in pin diagram I have explained, this is external access. If it is grounded, then your controller will fetch the instruction from the location 00 to FF. From 00, this is 0000 H to FF. The capacity is around 64K. 64K kilobytes of locations. Bytes of locations. Okay. Okay. So if it is 1, the condition is different. That is, from this location to this location, instruction is fetched from internal memory, and then the control will move to address location 1000H2 FFFH from the external memory. So this is not the condition. This is the condition. So you have to ground it so that you can access external memory completely. Okay, this is the first point I would like to explain. Okay, next, how the data after any one instruction is executed, for example, external memory access, if any instruction is executed for collecting data from external memory, what the controller will do is the pSyn is set to low. The pSyn is active output enable pin to the external ROM. That is, this pin has to be set to 0 so that this EEPROM is selected. Okay. So this is automatically, it is done. If you execute the instruction, let me say a simple example, move C and let me take comma some address. So from this address, the data will be moved to accumulator. The C indicates the program memory. So like that, it will be, instruction will be like this. So if that is the case, the controller will automatically supply zero supply here, 0 volt. Initially it will be high, so it will set to 0 so that this IC is enabled. Okay. Now the IC is enabled. Then here in this port and in this port, address is applied. See, in port 0, it is multiplexed AD0 to AD7. In pin diagram, if you know pin diagram, it will be easy for you. Since it is a multiplexed address and data bus, it gives lower order 8-bit address. The address will be here, A0 to A7. Right. So this is the latch. To enable this latch, we have to give ALE signal, external latch and ALE signal generated by 8051. So in order to obtain this address bus, the external latch and ALE pin has to be placed and given appropriate signal. So you will get A0 to A7, and in port 2 you will be getting A to A15. Okay, totally the 16-bit address is located here or given to the ROM, so that corresponding location is selected. Corresponding location is selected. Okay, so this forms a effective physical address which is generated by port 0 and 2, so that if it is the proper physical address, then appropriate data will be fed to the controller by using this data bus. Because port 0 is address and data bus. It has both address and data bus. So initially address is given, on the same line data is transferred from EEPROM to port 0. Okay, it's very simple. The same operation, it is shown in the timing diagram cycle. See, here this diagram shows this diagram shows same thing, right? So initially the pSyn is set to low, okay, so that IC is selected. Here once it is low, then ALE signal is set, okay, at this point, right? Once IC is selected, ALE is selected, so that here the address, this particular address is put on the bus lines. Now in port 2, you will be providing A8 to A15, right? So once this data is given, okay, once it is given, automatically, if If it is a program memory, it will fetch the instruction. Because in program memory, we'll be having an instruction. So from the corresponding address, from this address, what is the instruction that is read through the port 0? Right? See, once this operation is done, then the next is the instruction is read. So from this point, this is the one cycle to execute the program. We are fetching one instruction from the program memory. The controller will do these things automatically. Okay, depending on the program. For example, if you execute the instruction move C something or some address, automatically from that address is put here, the instruction is fetched. Okay. So this is a simple. So any doubt you can ask me here so that we can wind up. So we have one more class also. So in that class, I will explain second part of this topic, that is accessing external data memory. So any doubt? So students can ask me.